Whew. Now that everything is up those stairs to here, we need to now get them set up right here. Let me move this chair. I was sitting down being lazy, I guess. And what we are going to do is basically somewhat mirror the stack that is over here, but it's just going to be too high sitting on top of the desk, so there won't be that third enclosure on the floor. It'll just start from the second one and up, and it'll be pretty close to the same height. And I used a little bit different enclosure because it was cheaper. I was cheap, so saved a couple $100. So I've got to, in order to get this done, I've got to move this stuff, obviously. It's going to take up the space from the edge all the way to the monitor. One thing that I dealt with when I put this one in and I just left it, I kind of don't mind it, is my doorway's basically cut in half. So it's a tight space to get in. Actually, I just thought, how am I gonna? Hopefully, I can squeeze the enclosures in through there. I might have to. Oh boy, I just realized that one. So we'll have to figure that out. So, but it's going here, so I'm gonna have to move that stuff. I'm gonna have to move these, and basically, what's gonna be going in there is these leopard geckos. Here and down there are going in there, so I can. Make dual enclosures. There's a divider here, but I can make dual enclosures for gargoyle geckos that I have. So I have a male and a female that I'm growing up here to breed in the future. And so what I'll be able to do is just either remove the divider or move one, over to the other. And then if they fight or somebody gets hurt or something, I can, separate them again. And so I'm going to have 3 pairs basically in these enclosures. So I didn't know what to do with the leopard geckos, and so I felt bad. I didn't want to take away from their homes, obviously. So I've had them for 4 years or so. So they're going here. It's going to be a tight fit. The problem I'm going to have is it's going to stick out to about right here. I already squeezed through this little corner, but it ain't that bad because you can put your big fat belly and arms and everything over in this space. You just turn and get in. But with this enclosure, it's going to stick out to here, over here. So it's going to be a tight fit. But if I need to get stuff in and out of there, I've got over here, down here, where I can squeeze stuff through until I'm crazy and I put more enclosures underneath here probably. So anyway, so that's the project of today in this already crowded room. So I got the enclosures in here, and the spacer stackers, whatever you want to call them. So the enclosures I'm putting in here on this side are the ExoTerra. ExoTerra with the foam background. So the stackers are Thrive. So I think with these you have to use the spacers that they give. But over here, these are Thrive enclosures. Now I was gonna just stick with Thrive because the stackers work better with the Thrive enclosures. You don't have to use these little spacers that they give you, and it would have matched perfectly over on this side. But PetSmart was having a sale on enclosures, and a lot of times they do, and that's what I suggest is, wait when they have their sales, and a lot of times online too, but Christmas time is usually the real big one, obviously. But back to the point at hand, I was going to stick with Thrive enclosures, but this particular enclosure that comes with a bunch of stuff that I didn't need was on sale for like $220 or something like that. When I got these with the backgrounds, these wouldn't have come. I think you have to buy the flat background or foam background separate. I don't know, but this already came with the foam background, but I got this on sale for $150. Originally $300. They all start in that range of somewhere around $300, but it was on sale for $150. So it was pay $220 for the Thrive or $150 for this, times 2 enclosures. So I tried to save a few bucks and try to be a little thrifty. So one thing I don't like as well on the ExoTerra is the this part is, I guess there's ventilation in there, but it's thicker. It's more, gets in your view. This is thin, and with the screen top, I don't. Maybe in some situations you need that extra ventilation in the front, but I've never ran into a situation where it was really beneficial to lose that view. It's just a little bit thick when you could, keep something, streamlined like this. One thing I don't like about the Thrive though is their top screens kind of block out a lot of the UVB. So this is a better screen, but I've got animals in here that don't need tons of UVB, so it really depends on what type of animal you're putting in here. So, but anyway, so with the spacer and a little bit different of a closure, and the fact that these are going to be sitting on the desk, but if you look, this is right about the same level, so it should kind of match up perfect. But so anyway, the enclosures are in the room. This is in the room, and so now we got to start moving this stuff. But the first thing I want to get those enclosures out of the way and put one of the first enclosure up there and see what it's going to look like, and how much space I got in there. So we'll see. Keep my fingers crossed. See you soon. Got the first enclosure in place, and not bad as far as space. I can definitely get through here. Like I said, it is tight, but it's not like I'm doing laps through the room, so and as it gets higher it might be a little more intrusive, but it works. I can get through, and if I have something bigger to bring through, and I don't, the biggest thing that I'll have to bring through is that enclosure when I get that out of here, but the racks are fairly small and I can put them together in here, so it won't be too bad. I have to get these out of here, but again they will fit through this space here. So far as far as getting through there, I'm good. But now, as far as my desk space, I was trying to salvage at least a little bit, and what I may end up doing is moving that fish tank. So I have a little more space. It already gets salt on here, so it might be better. I threw away the lid because I wanted to do a reef tank, and just too much work for me with everything that I have going on. So not worth it. So anyway, we will have to figure out if this is enough desk space. But reptiles come first, right? Fun comes first. New things come first. But so anyway, so I gotta start putting together these stackers. Got 2 of them. They basically will look like that, and see how they fit. I've heard or seen some reviews, people complaining, saying they couldn't open the doors. But one thing I noticed, and what somebody had commented, is that they do have spacers, and they do, and they come in the pack. There's a spacer that goes in there, so it should make it to where I can, still open the door, which is going to make it sit a little taller. It's not going to sit as deep in, which it'll be kind of interesting to see how topsy-turvy it is, for lack of a better term, especially sitting on a flimsy desk that right now is sitting on 2 poles that aren't even screwed into it. That's the only thing holding that fridge. There's a gap. So that ain't holding nothing. It's got a backup, but so we'll have to make that obviously more secure. But we'll see how this goes, and how topsy-turvy it is, and how crowded it looks. See if it makes it cooler looking, or just makes it more crowded. We'll see. So I got the first stacker and the second enclosure stacked on top of the first enclosure. I'm gonna say this was a royal pain in the butt compared to using the Thrive enclosure, which it's made for. I'm a little disappointed in Thrive saying that it was, or insinuating it was compatible, and maybe the word is tricky. They say it's compatible for any 3-foot enclosure, or 36-inch enclosure, or whatever. I don't know how they worded it, but apparently ExoTerra kind of shorts you on the enclosure width, and so up here you have a gap literally on each side. It fits good with the bottom framing, so the sitting this enclosure, but having something solid for this to sit on, these spacers that they give you made it sit up higher. So they're L-shaped, and what I did is I cut the L off and then turned it so it didn't stick up as high, and it gave me the clearance needed to be able to open this, but didn't have it so high that the lip wasn't sitting on this. But if you look, I mean, I'm really not sitting on this. There was no real good way for the unit to sit, so I literally had to screw this to the wall to really make it sturdy, and then plus use these rig these spacers underneath. So I'll say, if you're not good at little engineering and kind of rigging stuff, I guess rig is a poor choice of words, but you know, secure the stuff. It's gonna be a real pain in the butt for you. But this is basically, well, it was a royal pain, but anyway. But this is kind of where I'm at now. Still a long way to go. I got to put the other stacker, but then I got to move all that stuff over to there. So having to deal with that issue really kind of slowed things up. But I'm gonna probably put the other top piece on and then call it a night. Clean up my mess and call it a night. But I'll pick up the camera when I got the other piece back on and things kind of cleaned up. I don't know if I'll rehang this stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll be back. So here's the setup. Got everything together and things rehung on the wall, cleaned up. So I like this. This, you know, obviously takes up a lot of space, but I like the way it looks. It's clean looking to me. This room's relaxing when you come in here. I get relaxed anyway, just the green and the animals and kind of watching them. But one big thing I was really worried about was, you know, the space to get through here, and luckily I can get through there good enough, and I do have the space, like I said before, underneath to any bigger items that I would have to get through. But there's really nothing big except for that one enclosure in there that I'll have to get out eventually. So haven't got the animals moved over yet, but that's obviously my next step. But I'm glad just to be to this point where everything's set up and together, and it will give me the space or the enclosures that I need to do what I want to do, or at least get me to my next step until I want to grow from there. But still some things that I need to purchase, like a separate gecko incubator and some other more racks and stuff like that. But I definitely recommend, if you've got 3-foot enclosures or multiple enclosures you're trying to find space for, obviously going vertical helps, and I think these kind of really create a clean look. Now technically I think they say that you're only supposed to do 2 enclosures. Obviously I got 3 stacked high here, and then these 2 are stacked on a desk, but this, you know, they're both actually strapped to the wall. So I'm sure if you've you know, if you do that at your own risk. You know, always follow manufacturer specs. But I'm a risk taker, I guess. If it falls, it falls. I would say the only thing I would be worried about is the bottom enclosures holding all that weight. I don't have a ton of weight there. But there is obviously some with the enclosure, so there's probably a couple 100 pounds pushing on that. But I have it strapped up there, and I think I'm going to strap it one more time down there just to take some weight off of that, just in case anything ever happened. But if you do 3 high, obviously, like I say, it's your own risk. But I like the stacker, and with the Thrive enclosure, if you're a little got some engineering skills, or just, you know, some basic tools, and you can make them work with the ExoTerra. I don't know how the ZoomEd enclosure works out, but I'm sure it's probably about the same as the ExoTerra. You're gonna have to play with it a little bit. But if you've got Thrive enclosures, these stackers, I think it really gives it a clean look, and definitely would recommend. So that's the setup so far. As soon as I get everything moved, I'll take some more footage so people can see, or you know, what it looks like, and tell me what you think. Anybody sees this, tell me what you think of it, and anything that you would have done different. So this project is done. Finally, I spent the weekend getting the lighting done, moving the animals, getting the heat done, putting in the dividers over here, and I think it came out great, looking great. I'm glad I went ahead and did this. The two reasons why I wasn't gonna go forward with this was, one, once I realized that I was gonna have this tight space in here, I didn't know if it would look good and if it would be practical. The other thing is, when I started doing these, and these weren't sitting on top of the initial enclosure very well, it was rickety and wobbly. I wasn't going to move forward with it, and then dealing with the small space here, I was like, this isn't going to work. It was a dumb idea, and I was going to take it back, but I stuck with it, said a couple F words, and pushed forward, and I love the way that it looks, and it accomplished what I needed at the moment. This gap probably looks smaller on camera, but I can get through here no problem. I have to turn a little bit, but I don't have to really squeeze. I just have to suck in my gut a little bit. That's no problem. Not bad. I don't think it looks bad, and again, if I have to bring some bigger stuff through, I can bring through that space underneath, and if I absolutely had to, I can, you know, take these off, unbolt it from the wall, and bring them down. Now that they're set up, it's not what I want to do, but it's what I can do. And so now what I have is I have 3 pairs of gargoyle geckos, a male and female, on each side over here, and then I have my leopard geckos over here. I have a female on top, female on bottom, on top, and then a male that goes in between the two. So I accomplished everything that I wanted to with this, and I think it not only is practical, but it looks good. So I'm excited, and I'm glad I stuck through it. My original idea that kind of just popped in my head did work out, luckily, and definitely I think looks good. It accomplished what I needed, and I'm sure there will be some adjustments, tweaks, and things like that, but right now I think it looks great. I did lose some desk space, but I still can use the desk. I probably, like I think I talked originally before, we'll probably end up moving that fish tank. It literally is just for to keep shrimp in, that I feed my Fahaka puffer, which he is currently, I think, seeing me move around and is like, when are you gonna feed me a shrimp? So, but anyway, back to this. It looks good. I hope you all think so too. Anybody that's wanting to use the stacker, I definitely recommend it. Even though it's harder with the ExoTerra enclosures, if you've got some tools and you can bolt it to the wall, you'll make it work. So I think it is definitely worth the investment if it was something you're thinking about. And anybody wondering if you can stack 3 high, even though it's against manufacturer's specs, if you take some extra precautions, you definitely can stack 3 high. Don't take my recommendation, I'm just saying you can do it. And you'll have to, like I said, screw it to the wall, bolt it to the wall to make it secure. But you definitely could do 3 high. But tell me what you all think. and I will see you on the next one.